Hundreds of contractors who worked on refining and assessing Google's AI systems were abruptly dismissed in multiple waves of layoffs last month, sparking a heated dispute over workplace conditions and pay. But here's where it gets controversial. These workers claim their layoffs were part of an effort to silence their protests and dismantle their push for better treatment. Over recent years, Google has relied heavily on outsourcing the task of rating AI responses to contractors employed by companies like Global Logic, which is owned by Hitachi, among others. These contractors are tasked with reviewing, editing, or completely rewriting answers generated by Google's chatbots, such as Gemini, to ensure the replies sound natural, thoughtful, and more human-like. Much like content moderators who police social media posts, these raters provide expert guidance that helps teach AI systems, including the AI Overviews feature that summarizes answers in Google Search to produce correct and relevant content across a variety of topics. According to the workers, the recent job cuts came amidst growing unrest over wages, job security, and working environments. The positions aren't entry-level gigs. To qualify for the so-called Super Rater program, workers needed advanced degrees, like master's degrees or PhDs, and often come from backgrounds such as teaching, writing, and other creative professions. One affected contractor, Andrew Lawson, who was informed of his firing via email on August 15th, described the experience plainly. "I was just cut off." When he asked for an explanation, the company gave a vague answer about a project ramp down. Lawson, who had joined Global Logic in March 2024, performed tasks ranging from assessing AI output to generating diverse prompts for the AI model. He views his dismissal as a glaring example of the fragile nature of such moderating roles, pointing out that layoffs have become increasingly common throughout the year. "How can anyone feel secure in a job that can disappear without notice?" he questioned. Current employees express growing fears that they are being trained out of their own jobs. Leaked internal documents suggest that Global Logic utilizes these human raters to teach Google's AI the nuances of evaluating answers, with plans to replace them entirely with automated systems. Paradoxically, the company is making moves to reduce seasoned staff, while simultaneously recruiting new hires. In July, Global Logic ordered all employees in Austin, Texas, back to the office, presenting significant challenges for those who struggle with commuting costs, disabilities, or caregiving duties. Despite handling complex, high-stakes assignments, at least 8 interviewed workers shared with Wired that they are undercompensated and plagued by uncertainty and poor working conditions. This combination has damaged morale and hindered performance. Early this year, contractors attempted to unionize but claimed their efforts were suppressed. Now, 2 former workers have filed complaints with the National Labor Relations Board, alleging wrongful termination, one for raising concerns about wage transparency, the other for advocating on behalf of colleagues. A Google spokesperson, Courtney Mancini, clarified, "These employees are hired by Global Logic or subcontractors, not Alphabet itself. Therefore, Global Logic is responsible for their employment terms. Google audits its suppliers against our supplier code of conduct." Global Logic, however, declined to comment on the matter. Looking back, Global Logic has provided generalist raters for Google's search result evaluation for about a decade. In early 2023, Google requested a new, more specialized team, the Super Raters, to assess AI features like AI Overviews. Ricardo Lavario, a Texas teacher and one of the earliest Super Raters, worked on refining Google's AI-generated search summaries by judging their accuracy and restructuring responses for clarity and source reliability. Lavario recalls that after the initial success, Google planned rapid growth, adding around 20 new raters weekly, eventually employing as many as 2,000 super raters. Tensions arose when Global Logic expanded hiring through third-party contractors, who were paid significantly less, $18 to $22 per hour, compared to the $28 to $32 an hour wages given to initial GlobalLogic hires, fueling discontent over pay disparities. Besides super raters, GlobalLogic also employs generalist raters who don't necessarily hold advanced degrees. Alex, a 2023 hire who evaluated chatbot outputs, notes that despite being assigned increasingly demanding projects, her pay remained stagnant. She requested anonymity due to privacy concerns. "We're crucial to the process," Alex emphasized. "Engineers don't have the bandwidth to fine-tune every piece of AI output. That's our job. We're like lifeguards, here to catch mistakes before they happen." Though she secured a full-time position, Alex says about 80% of her project colleagues are still contractors without benefits like paid leave. Towards the end of 2023, around 80 raters formed a WhatsApp group called Super Secret Secondary Location, quietly plotting collective action. In spring 2024, they connected with the Alphabet Workers Union to build a dedicated GlobalLogic chapter focused on advocating for improved wages and work conditions. "We were laying the groundwork for unionization beneath the surface," said Lavario. By December 2024, membership had grown to 18. However, frustrations only escalated. A project introduced a 5-minute time limit per task, severely stressing workers, including Alex. "It's a race now. Quality is suffering," she explained. "The work went from mentally engaging to boring. Sometimes I can't even finish tasks before the timer runs out, and they threaten job loss for missing targets." In January, when a departing employee urged others to organize via online messages, conversations about wages and conditions grew louder. GlobalLogic allegedly responded by deleting these discussions and falsely claiming policy violations. After Lavario shared a pay and workplace survey that boosted union membership to 60 by February, the company banned employee social chat spaces during work hours. These platforms were vital for remote workers to connect and feel human in an otherwise isolating environment. Faith Frontera, another generalist rater, lamented, "Without these social spaces, work feels robotic. They made us feel like people, especially when we don't meet face-to-face." Many see the social channel ban as retaliation for union activity. A super rater with 2 years at GlobalLogic suggested that the company moved to stifle communication because discussions about pay parity painted the employer in a negative light, intensifying a hostile atmosphere. Lavario continued participating in social channels despite the ban and was subsequently warned and then fired shortly after filing a whistleblower complaint with Hitachi. His termination was officially due to violating social space policies. Labor experts recognize this pattern. Mila Maselli of the DARE Institute explains, "This is the playbook used worldwide by outsourcing firms to break worker organizing, and retaliation is common." Globally, AI data annotators are fighting back. Early this year, Kenyan AI labelers formed the Data Labelers Association, demanding fair pay, better working conditions, and mental health support. Meanwhile, moderators worldwide have united to create the Global Trade Union Alliance of Content Moderators, incorporating members from countries like Kenya, Turkey, and Colombia. Back at GlobalLogic, those still